Will RELL break the Roblox One Piece curse? A question most people will answer with a yes, and honestly, it could break the curse in my opinion, but there are some things I am concerned about that I hope RELL will have on release. Now, let's get straight into this discussion. The RELL brothers have now dropped 3 teasers, with the last one being their last teaser for a while, as they've already confirmed on Twitter. Now, let's talk about the first teaser. In the first teaser, RELL Games showed us some little things such as hair movement and just how your character will move inside the game. They also showed a few models for sharks, venom, and sea beasts. Just showed us a few weapon models as well, such as Bicento and daggers. We also know that RELL will feature 3D armor sets for your created characters. We also know that RELL is working really hard on zone type fruits, and including Rob Lucci's fruit and some other fruits as well. We also know that Mochi is confirmed, is being modeled out, as well as a few other weapons were brought up, such as tridents, katanas, sabers, and so much more being confirmed as of the making of this video, which already by teaser 1, a lot of people saying that RELL was super unique. And hey, I can't agree. They have some things that a lot of One Piece games don't. We also saw some really neat grip animations, and at the end of teaser 1, RELL Games showcased some environmental things within the game, such as the grass, water, rock textures, and of course at the end we know RELL will have a theme song which nobody cares about.
Cut the shit the fuck off!
What is it?
But what is he doing?
But the first teaser gave us a little bit what RELL Games had to offer as far as the game goes, and it started the hype train for the game, and it's only going to get larger over time. We knew from the first teaser that RELL was definitely going to be trying to go a different route, and they brought hope to actually be breaking the curse for a lot of people. So yeah, and then they dropped the second teaser, which involved an in-depth look into the combat of the game, which was said at the beginning to be inspired by the Devil May Cry series. As you know, that series has some very cool combat. We know that RELL Games is trying to have the combat be centered around air combat. It's going to be featuring the advanced use of Geppo, and we also got an early look at Shiki combat being a part of the game as well. We also know that RELL Games is having a focus on flashy animations as well to improve the overall quality of the game. We see early on the confirmation of more weapons and the inclusion of guns as well. We know that RELL Games wants to have an air laddering system, sort of similar to the Devil May Cry games, as I've already said, which have an intricate combo system in the air. We also know that the game will have feature an evasive system, and we also have a hit and parry system, which will be like a block and click type parry system. We also know that RELL Games will be taking ideas from Shindo and expanding upon them on the release of RELL. There's also a clashing system where if your opponents hit each other at the same time in the same angle, it would trigger a clash. There's a few different types of armor during combat. You have your hyper armor, your super armor, your M1 priority armor, your strong armor, your invulnerability armor, which is very important to know when PvPing in the game. RELL Games also confirmed that different weapons will have different M1 speeds, and they will be separated in categories such as heavy being slow, medium being kinda slow, and light being fast. This also confirms that Dark Blade will be a heavy weapon. We know that heavy weapons will also have a longer range when M2ing, which is also known as your Q spec. And we also know that the Devil Fruits will be known as God Fruits, to avoid copyright of course. We know that the combat will feature a knockback and a down slam system, as well as also as an air up tilt, which is sort of similar to ABA in a way where you can kind of up tilt while you're already in the air. You can also parry in the air, which I thought was really innovative. They also confirmed that the base combat is airlocked, so this also confirms that the base combat was meant to, you know, kind of help with air combos, and that's kind of like their focus right now. We know that Blackleg is also confirmed with Shiki. We also know that Geppo will have a maximum of 8 jumps before you can fall back down. We can see at the end of the video how diverse and intricate the combat system is, along with some pretty cool combos, which were showcased at the end of the teaser. We also know that the game is going to have a crafting system. It's going to have a looting system, which kind of infers that they're going to be focusing a lot more on exploration. Almost forgot that they also showed observation hockey, so we can infer that the other forms of hockey will be in the game as well, because we've already seen observation, so they're probably going to have conquerors. The second teaser, the Hyper RELL was crazy. Everybody was going crazy after everyone saw the second teaser. You had YouTubers going crazy over this trailer. This trailer indeed had me hyped as well a little bit, but unlike others, I still was not sold on whether or not RELL Games could pull it off. After all, one more teaser was yet to be shown, but recently RELL Games did drop the teaser 3, which showcased gun combat and some more of the zone type fruits that would be in the game. We know that teaser 3 RELL Games showed off that you can indeed M1 with guns, which is something we have never seen before in a One Piece game, which is a theme RELL Games seems to be going, because they're just trying to be different from every other game. Even on Twitter, RELL Games have said that they don't want to be compared to any of these other One Piece games, because they're making their own vision of what a pirate game is supposed to be, which I really like to hear. Now back to the teaser, we seen some different types of guns such as revolvers, pistols, miniguns, etc. They also showcase different skills that the guns will come with as well. And so far, to be honest, RELL already has more depth within the gun combat than every other pirate in One Piece game on the platform, which of course got people excited and got me excited too. Then we move on to how the devil fruits will work. That most elemental fruits will be able to apply burn effects such as probably freeze on contact if you're using Hiei, which is pretty standard stuff. But the biggest thing I think this teaser showed was the zone fruits and the zone combat. I mean, they had the Phoenix type doing air combos, which looked a big jank because it's not finished yet, but I'm sure the combat is nowhere near done. But even the small little stuff we've seen like Leopard, Brook, Venom, Phoenix, and even the Enel's transformation of all things looked great, and whoever modeled them went crazy. Now all of this definitely deserves the hype because people are tired of the same old, and personally I am too, because One Piece games are just getting tiring. But however, we as a community have to keep our expectations low, because if not, most likely people will, you know, be disappointed if the game comes out. You know, it's not what everybody's been hyping up. I've been seeing tons of YouTubers talk about the game, saying it's the greatest One Piece game of all time and things like that, and it's crazy because the game doesn't, we haven't even seen everything that the game has to offer, so saying it's the greatest One Piece game of all time is kind of crazy. We haven't seen exploration or progression, which in my opinion are the two most valuable things in a One Piece game, besides the fruits of course. I wish personally that RELL gave us a bit more details about the progression and the exploration, because this is what I don't want to happen to RELL. The game comes out and yeah, it has good combat and solid fruits, but the progression is terrible and the exploration is non-existent like most One Piece games, so I just don't want them to go that route. Now I want to briefly look at some of the things RELL Games themselves have confirmed outside of the teasers. On Twitter, RELL Games confirmed the Allosaurus zone will be in the game. RELL Games themselves also confirmed that the game will also have 30 devil fruits, which is insane. It is more than 99% of One Piece games on the platform and got a lot of people excited for the game, including me. 30 devil fruits is crazy. They also confirmed alongside that the fruits will be rare to obtain, so we can probably infer that there probably won't be a fruit dealer of any sort in the game, which is, in my opinion, I think it's great. Fruit dealers make getting fruits way too easy and honestly makes the game boring. And while I was editing, RELL Games dropped this fire Ushi no Mi Bison. Oh my god. In my opinion, just from what we have heard so far, we know that RELL Games is going in the right direction when making their One Piece game so far. At least they weren't dropping mid like Axior.
You know I had to do it too.
But I digress. Again, we can only go off what we know as of right now, but unfortunately we probably won't be getting another teaser for a while, as the game will be going into deep development as confirmed by RELL Games. I still have my concerns about those two things, but other than that, I'm pretty excited to see what RELL Games will take RELL in the future. I can't say for sure will the game break the curse, but just off what we have seen, but if the RELL brothers don't screw up progression and exploration, we can see them break it for good. That is my conclusion to will RELL break the Roblox One Piece curse. Now, as I say in every video, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this one, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.